All right. So, so I was gonna do an energy update, and then I felt like maybe the most beneficial thing would be for everyone to kind of just, I don't know, have conversation, maybe have an opportunity to kind of just, I guess, share what's on their mind, share whatever it is that you guys have been going through. Basically, you know, a lot of us are going through different things together yet alone, a lot of people have struggles with allowing themselves to really be fully present in their journey, really be naked in their truth, because the moment you do that, you'll get all kinds of different types of people who will think that they know you and that they can um basically, look for pathology within your psychology, which is stupid because I mean, people don't really know who you are. People don't really know who you are. And you will always have individuals who have no problem talking out of their ass. Okay? People will have no problem talking out of their ass in this digital age. Why is that? About 90% of the things that people say online, I promise you, they would not have the courage to say this to your face. I promise you. And it's like, are you going to allow that type of cowardly behavior to somehow stunt your growth? Are you going to allow that? So, take for example, earlier today, uh, I was trying to do an energy update for Pisces, and just a lot of things for me personally that, I don't feel like I have to share. And that's the thing. That's the thing. Sometimes people don't grasp that just because you share aspects of your life and you share the truth of who you actually are, they think they know everything about you. They just do. They assume like, oh yeah, I've seen a couple of her videos. I know who she is. I promise you don't. I promise you, you don't. Um, there are so many layers to people. So many layers and levels. And it would really be foolish for anyone to make this assumption that you truly know somebody. Okay? We all go through different things on a daily basis. I don't share most of what I go through on a daily basis. There's no way. You might think you have an idea of who I am. And I'm not saying that, you have absolutely no idea who I am. I'm saying it's really, really hurtful for people to make comments. Um, and the comments that I'm talking about, it's like I am really, really good at reading energy. I really am. And sometimes I question myself when I know I really shouldn't. I know I really shouldn't. I should just accept what I pick up off of people's comments. Like, this is what they really mean by it. So, for example, there's a comment that was made, and I just recently saw it, where something about wondering if my fire is really, how much of that fire is spunk and how much of it is unhealed trauma. That's a dickish thing to say, first off. Okay. Considering the fact that the video that was commented on was when I'm in a really, really vulnerable space and I'm crying because of my own personal stuff. But here's the thing. Regardless of how vulnerable I seem, I promise you, I am the breed of person. If you try and kick me while I'm down, I will take your motherfucking foot and shove it up your ass. I will never be too low to not be able to defend myself, to speak up for myself. So here's the thing. For any of you who are questioning that, I've never called myself spunky. I've never called myself badass. I don't believe myself to be a badass. I believe myself to have been hurt so much in my life that I no longer have to hide it. I'm one walking fucking wound. And I'm not ashamed of it either. So what now? What now? And yes, I replied to that comment. All of it is unhealed trauma. All of my sarcasm, all of my spunk, that is rooted in unhealed trauma. You think I'm ashamed? You think that you'd become as strong as I am? Living an untraumatized life? That's silly. That's very silly. Very, very silly. To make comments regarding you're the only one that told yourself to wear that armor, unless you understand the kind of war zone I have lived in. Don't make any comments about my armor. And here's the thing, I really believe all of this is coming up at the point that it's coming up right now, because these are aspects of myself that I still need to work on. That's it. That's it. The individual who made these comments, you're nothing but a tool of my soul. My soul had you write those comments so that I could see the parts of myself that I still need to work on. At no point will I ever reach perfection in this life. I'm okay with that. That doesn't mean I'm going to allow myself to remain stagnant. That means I'm going to continue to allow myself to grow. And maybe, I don't know, maybe this is a point where I don't like to toot my own horn. I really, really don't. I really, really don't. But maybe it's time. Maybe it's time. Because you'd be very hard pressed to find someone with the kind of courage that I have, where I can come and be myself and not have to put on a show. I could just be me. Where I'm not so focused on building an audience and a following that I need to cultivate this very carefully created image. That's not me. And you'd be very hard pressed to find someone as genuine as me. That still shows up to work every single day. That still has the willingness, the ability, the desire to continue loving people. Does that make me any better? No, it doesn't. But it's about fucking time I begin actually publicly recognizing the gravity of the beauty that I am. Even just saying that is weird. It's fucking weird. It's weird. But I need to say it at this point. Because I think it's time for me to really, really solidify this like life plan. My life plan is this, okay? And hopefully you can follow along with this. My life plan is For every person that tries to tear me down, I will love myself that much more. For every person that has no shame in publicly attempting to shame me for being who I am, for trying to find pathology in my attempt to heal myself, I will publicly come on and talk about another aspect of myself that makes me so uniquely beautiful. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about this. And if you think you're courageous for being able to make hurtful comments on other people's videos and posts, and it's like, oh, they're at a weak point. Pick someone else to victimize. Not a victim. Never will be. No matter how low I fall from my own level of grace, I will never be low enough to agree with you in your attempt to try and tear me down. And this is how you guys should see yourselves. This is how you should begin really, really, truly walking your spiritual path. This is how. And this is why I had to have that moment earlier. No, it's all good. It's all good. I miss my mom. The day she died, I was arguing with a client. Because guess what? I was still trying to accommodate their schedule. As I was rushing to get to my mother who was dying, I was still taking into consideration that someone had waited for their appointment and I should at least fulfill that appointment. And as I planned her funeral, I didn't allow myself to mourn because I still had to go live. Because I had to keep my shit together because people needed their messages. Is this your guys' fault? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. These are all the things that I chose for myself. It would be very, very easy for me to sit here and be like, I do all of this for you guys. No. I used your need to give me an excuse to avoid my pain. I take ownership of that. If you think you can tear me down by stating my truth, there's nothing that I have lived through that I'm ashamed to admit. There's nothing that I do now that I would deny. Anything that I would deny if someone asked me, I wouldn't do it. Bottom line, I wouldn't do it. And so here's the thing, guys. This is what I keep talking about in the readings. How we choose these things for ourselves and we don't take ownership of it. We don't. I prioritize other people's feelings. Is that someone else's fault? Absolutely not. That was a decision I made. And I understand why I made that decision. Because I didn't want to face that my mom is gone. And it's so easy for people to sit there behind the screen and think that they found the pathology. Oh, you think I'm crying because of some stupid ass twin flame? Fuck out of here with that. We have to begin really taking accountability for what we decide for ourselves. It's just that. That's that. That's that. You can't blame other people for what you choose. No matter how much you think you're doing this for someone else, be honest with yourself. It would be so easy for me to be like, well, Michael forced me to go live and everyone else needed. No. Yes, that's true too. But the main reason I went along with it was because catering to other people's needs gave me an excuse to avoid addressing my own. And I say this practically every live stream at this point. I am no different from any of you. I'm just not. I'm a big ass fucking mess. Only difference, I can hold myself accountable for what I decide. I'm not so ashamed of who I am that I can't just be honest and be like, no, I used you guys as an excuse. I didn't want to deal with my grief. It's the truth. People are going to judge you no matter what. No matter what, that internal circumstance will become an external effect. No matter what. No matter how much you try and hide it, no matter how much you try and gloss it over and make it shine. When I was a photographer, there were a couple really funny key terms. GWC, guy with camera. Anybody with a camera can totally be a photographer. Because there would be these perverts who would try and get models to, these girls, models, to take compromising pictures. And then the other concept was a polished turd. You can polish a turd all you want, but it's still a turd. If you take a shitty picture, you can Photoshop it all you want. It's still a shitty picture. So that's the thing. Stop trying to polish your turds to impress other people. Because I guarantee you, the people you're trying to impress, they never wanted to understand you. Sorry, guys. Okay. Ricky, I'm not big on hugs. I don't like people touching me. I mean, that's like the sweetest, sentiment, but that's just kind of who I am. That's kind of who I am. That's the thing. It's like, just because I share the smallest, tiniest fractals of who I am, I totally, I knew this before I started going live. I knew there would always be people who watch, not because they're curious, not because they're fascinated, not because I give them some sort of, I don't know, sense of home or some sort of guidance. No, they watch because they wait. They try and get information to see where my weaknesses are. And they wait. They wait for when I fall so they can kick me while I'm down. And one thing you might want to know about me before you continue with that type of plan. I grew up with nothing but brothers. These brothers taught me how to grapple. Mixed martial arts. Once I'm on the floor, you're fucked. That's how it works in my world. If you don't understand how mixed martial arts works, because I'm a lot smaller, when we're standing face to face, you probably have an upper hand. But when we're on the ground, I will fucking dominate you. And I won't tap out. That's not how I was raised. If you get one of my limbs, You earned that. Go ahead and break it because I'm not tapping out. If I get one of your limbs, I've earned that. I don't give a shit if you tap, I'm breaking it. That's how we used to play. So, if you don't understand the logic that someone was taught from childhood, mind you, I come from a third world country. You will not kick me while I'm down. That's just who I am. I'm very nice. I'm very patient. Until you leave me no choice not to be. Okay? Bottom line. That's how it is. And it's like, it sucks that you even have to have these conversations. It sucks. It really, really sucks. But you know what? Something like this needs to be talked about. It needs to be talked about in the open because it's time for this paradigm where people who have no problem sticking up for themselves are vilified, where they're shamed. That needs to end. That needs to end. I'm the kind of person, I stay in my lane. If I stepped on your toes, it's because you're putting your fucking feet in my lane. It's because you're trying to trip me. At which point, no, I'm not going to be sorry. It's not spiritually evolved. Well, neither is trying to trip someone who is walking in their own lane. See how that works there? It's about causation and effect. When you hold someone accountable for their fuckery, you're teaching them a lesson of cause and effect. For every causation you choose, there will be an effect. And maybe it's because many of us aren't taught this from childhood. Maybe some of us aren't taught this from childhood. Who are you saying needs a cleansing? Does it make you uncomfortable that I'm speaking my truth? I'm suddenly demonic because I'm stating a fact that if you attack me, if you attempt to victimize me, physically victimize me, I will victimize you too. It will be mutual combat. There's not going to be an aggressor or a victim. You try and victimize me, it will be fucking mutual combat. What's fair is fair. Ricky's now's not the time to joke. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's about being, tone deaf. That's a term that people have been throwing around a little bit lately. Being tone deaf. Deaf to the tone of the environment that you're attempting to participate in. Yeah. Sad thing is I have a really developed sense of humor. I didn't find that funny. That's why I had to ask. That's the sad part. You should maybe try out your jokes on a smaller group before you try them on, public live streams. I mean, you don't have to apologize. It's nice that you did, but you don't have to apologize. Just saying. There's a lot of people who will make statements like that and they're not joking. You were joking. Some people aren't. And that's one of the things that you have to really just come to terms with. There will be people who are cowards and think they can say whatever they want because they're hiding behind a screen. And how does that affect you? How does it? It doesn't unless you allow it, right? Unless you allow it in. And that's part of why I decided to just talk to you guys instead of doing an energy update, to just talk to you guys instead, because these are things that really need to just be put out there. It needs to be normalized that if someone's going to victimize you, you have every right and obligation to yourself to not allow that shit. You're obligated. Oh, but I'm a grown adult. It's okay. No, you have an inner child that needs to be protected. Bottom line. You have an inner child that deserves your protection, that deserves for you to stick up for them. This dig of like, I wonder how much of that is unhealed trauma. All of it is. Oh, honey, you probably haven't watched enough of my videos. All of it is unhealed trauma. I'm probably going to spend the rest of my life working on healing my traumas. Is there something wrong with that? Absolutely not. It's something that's very truthful, very real, and very, very common. The reason people end up having really shitty lives is because they think they have to hide their traumas. They have to hide the fact that they are healing their traumas. I will spend the rest of my life attempting to heal myself. That doesn't make me any less than you. It doesn't make me any better either. It just means I now have the clarity to understand what I'm here in this life to do for myself. Yes, Cheryl, I love that. The honey badger protects the inner child. Absolutely. Absolutely. Is that a legitimate statement that you're schizophrenic? Or is that another bad joke? Because I don't think making mental health problems into something to laugh about, I don't think that's funny. Are you really schizophrenic? You grew up around four brothers and learned early on self-defense. Yeah. 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 Same here. Same here. Well, I'm glad you found the courage to share with whoever watches this that you suffer from schizophrenia. So, yeah, I'm hoping that this is going to give whoever needs that little bit of a push. I hope this gives you the courage to really be courageous in your life. Who cares what other people think? People are going to think whatever they want. Regardless of the kind of person you actually are, they're going to make up their own stories about you. And whether they share that story they've created about you with other people, depends on the individual. But people make up their own stories about you. Sometimes it's nice, sometimes it's not. I've seen several people over the course of the past, I don't know, month or two. I thought you said you're blah, 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 and you said you're blah, blah, blah. I never said I was anything but a stay-at-home mom. You thought I was compassionate. And you thought because you think I'm compassionate that I would let you get away with your bullshit. And then you got mad when you realized, oh shit, now you're letting me get away with my bullshit. Yeah, no. I try to live compassionately. Do I categorize myself as a compassionate person? On a good day. On a bad day, I can be pretty fucking sour. I can be pretty fucking hurtful. Because I'm a real person. I'm a real person. I might be categorized technically as some sort of public figure because I speak publicly, but I'm a real person. I'm a real person that's publicly visible. Yes. That means I am not exempt from lashing back. When you lash out at me, I'm not exempt from lashing back out at you. I don't feel that I have to behave in the same way that someone who wants you, who needs you to like them in order to grow their business. I don't feel like I have to behave that way. You're either going to need my services or you're not. And for those that allow me the trust that's necessary to help you, beautiful. I'm very thankful for that. But if you think I'm going to be someone that I'm not, to convince you that you need something I'm offering, I'll be the first to tell you, if I have to convince you, you don't need it. You don't need it. I'm known for turning people away for refunding. Like, you don't need it. Unless this is something you're really like, I feel like I really need this. then you don't need it. Don't buy it. It's very simple. That's how I am. If you were to go on my website right now and purchase a parasitic extraction and you don't have any parasite, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm so glad you purchased that. And be like, boo, you don't have nothing. Refund that shit. Refund it. They don't have nothing. They don't need an extraction, whatever. Refund it. Because I'm not that kind of person. Like, yeah, no. You have to allow yourself to be real. People will love you or hate you no matter what you do. Wouldn't you rather they love you for who you actually are? Because the people that hate you, they're going to hate you no matter what. There's nothing you're going to do. Nothing. Those who have really allowed themselves to commit to the decision to not like you, they're not going to like you no matter what. No matter what. Now, there's been plenty of times where, especially when I used to go live and do auctions and stuff on Facebook, because I used to go live on Facebook quite a bit. Someone would share my page to the troll groups. So all of them would come. And then it would be a whole bunch of trolls in the audience. And they'd be saying their stuff. And I, because I'm trollish too. I am. My level of sarcasm is my sarcasm is very robust. And so we would go back and forth, and they weren't committed to hating me. Some of those trolls actually kept watching for weeks. For weeks. And that's fine. That's fine. Just because you first found me being a troll doesn't mean I'm not going to let you stay around. That's fine. But it's the people who are really committed to hating you. Sometimes they're the ones that are the most pleasant to your face. Sometimes they're the ones that call you sister. Hey, sister. I'm sorry, sister. The person you were talking shit about me to last week, they messaged me. I don't know if you know this. You don't have to call me sister anymore. I know you think I'm a bitch. Girl, I think you're a bitch too, so it's okay. I'm telling you, some of the people who you think, no. And that's fine, because really all you need is yourself, okay? All you really need is to know who you are. Understand the gravity of how amazing you actually are. And you don't need someone else to agree with you on that. And there will be people, because of the system that we still exist within, when you begin to understand the gravity of how amazing you are, because all of us are amazing. In our own ways, we are amazing, okay? There will be people who will tell you, oh, you're so full of yourself. You're so full of ego and this and that. Ego exists for a reason. Anything that no longer has a purpose no longer exists. Let that sink in. Is there a purpose for dinosaurs? Do you see any dinosaurs? No, right? So that's exactly what's going on with your spiritual life as well. Okay? Ego exists for a reason. It's when ego is left to be out of balance and left to its own devices, taking over and just being rotten. That's when ego is not healthy. It's good for me to have ego. It's good for me to balance that. Yes, my ego functions opposite. When my ego flares up, it makes me feel very small. Could you imagine someone with the kind of ability that I have, thinking they're the shit and exempt from all these spiritual laws? That's fuckery to the highest degree. So yes, I should always question myself. Yes, it's okay for me to experience periods where I feel small, unworthy. That's okay, because it balances me. Just like when there's periods where I start to puff my chest feathers a little bit, and then something will trigger my ego to shrink me back down to a healthy size. Everything works in balance. everything. Stop being so ashamed of how beautifully you were created with all the perfect checks and measures. It's when you try and be something else, when you try and live up to someone else's standards of who they think you should be, that everything about you gets all fucked up. That's when that happens. When you can be honest with yourself, honest about who you are, the reason why you do things. What a beautiful life. What a beautiful life where the cage is removed and you can, at any time you want, spread your wings and remind yourself that you can fly. That's a fucking beautiful life. It doesn't take any money to have that. You don't have to have graduated from anything. You don't have to have letters behind your name. You don't even have to have people agree with you or believe in you. As long as you're able to do this for yourself. And I think that's what the whole purpose of life is, getting to the point where you can do this for yourself and choosing to do it. There's a difference between knowing you can do it for yourself and actually doing it. There's a huge difference. I gotta close my window. Hold on, because bugs are gonna come in. Yeah, no, I don't do bugs. So, what do you guys want to talk about? Now that I've gotten all that off my chest, what do you guys want to talk about? What are you guys struggling through? Cue the people who tell you to embrace the bugs. Y'all can embrace that shit on your own. Y'all got 2 arms. Embrace that shit on your own. Okay? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, there's a part of me that really, really would love to be the kind of person where, like, I catch the spider and I'm like, oh, I'm going to release it back out into the wild. But that's not how I was made. I'm totally the kind of person, holy shit, burn the house down. That's me. Big spider in the house, keep the fucking house. It's yours. I will move somewhere else. That's me. Murder hornets. We have a wasp issue outside. We have a wasp issue outside. And my son, who is such an evolved freaking soul, I came downstairs and this morning, and he said that he had spoken to his father. And we're going to have to kind of bite the bullet on that, because if we eradicate the wasp issue, if we eradicate them, then we'll have an explosion in the spider and fly populations. They help to cull those, and I don't fucking know. Whatever. Y'all figure that shit out. As long as it's not in the house, I'm good. Can you talk about what the reptilians are doing at the moment with choosing breeders, if you have heard? I'll talk about this. The Greys answer to the reptilians, who answer to the draconians. And if you look at what's going on right now, all of these mandated things that society is experiencing, notice how sometimes they're classified as draconian measures. Okay? So look at what's being talked about in some circles. Talks about talks about things like human trafficking. Ties into that. It ties into that. I don't really want to get too much in that topic. I'm sorry. That's all I can say about that. But there's a lot of activity going on, and that activity is intentional. It's intentional. Ooh, you got to download Friday night? Probably not. There's been a lot of downloads happening daily, to be honest. How do people stop from being forced? Oh, Scorpy. That's that I don't like to censor myself, but that one that falls in line with the breeders, reptilian breeder topic. Um it's just too much. It's too much. I'm sorry. Can you get some downloads during dreams but not know what your download was at the time? That's actually how most downloads come. The really large downloads and the downloads that require privacy. The human consciousness won't remember most of that. You'll probably remember the first few minutes after you wake up, but after those first few minutes, most of the details are gone. Um, Pleiadians. Well, well. um, I've always heard really benevolent things about Pleiadians, but honestly, lately I've kind of been getting that um I feel like a portion of that lineage has fallen within the past generation or two. And I don't believe them to be as benevolent as they were once believed. There's a sect of them supposedly. Yes, Dory. Yes, yes. Yeah. But they can fall too. But yeah, I'm glad you said that, Dory, because um see, oh, I'm so tickled that you said you've done research. I haven't done any research. I haven't done any research. These are conversations I'm having with Michael. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Pleiadians are good. And he's like, what? Tell me more. What do you mean? Yeah, so he was telling me some things. But there's been a lot of infiltration that's occurred. A lot of infiltration that's occurred. And so Pleiadians notice that, okay, let's go back for a second. Okay, let's go back for a second. Let's back up for a second. What I want to say is this anything shift. Sorry, there is a shift just now. Anything that's allowed to be very easily spread and shared by the general public, that typically is draconian. Okay, it's going to further something draconian. And I forgot now what the fuck I was talking about. God, yes, question everyone and everything always, 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 always. So if it's being talked about on the news, if it's being allowed to be shared openly, most likely, yep, that's a half truth. That's a vicious lie mixed in with some truth, and that makes it damn near impossible to prove. So, ooh, what's your opinion on Abraham and the thing that speaks through Esther Hicks? See, okay, this is another really good thing. And it's not that I think I'm better than everyone and I know more. I'm just like kept away from certain things. So the whole Abraham Hicks, I have been so fascinated by that. Like sometimes I'll come across little axioms like on social media and things like that. I'm like, oh, I like that. And I see it's Abraham Hicks and I'm like, oh, I want to read more on him. And Michael goes, mm-mm. Mm-mm. And when I try to, I get interrupted or I lose the PDF or just like weird stuff. I know I'm not allowed to expose myself to Abraham Hicks. And then it turns out Abraham's not even a person. Someone is channeling. And then I was like, well, no fucking wonder. So when someone channels, this is what I know the definition of channeling to be. When someone channels, it's like I'm allowing someone into my body. I'm allowing another entity into my body to utilize my body to express itself. Um, and you can look this up. I don't know if maybe I'm making this up or not. That's just like having sex. And when you have sex with someone, traces of their DNA is left behind. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So I never, ever, ever channel. If I can hear you, motherfucker, why are you trying to come into my car? We ain't carpooling. This is the solo lane, okay? Ain't nobody allowed in here. I don't think so. I can hear, I can see, I can feel. You just tell me the message. I will tell them too. I will say it even verbatim. You want me to say it verbatim? Fuck yes, I'll do that for you, but you ain't coming in my body. I don't think so. Michael don't even come in my body. Yes, programming. Catherine Mary, they suddenly started saying draconian all the time now. Draconian this, draconian that. It's to normalize it. Normalize it. And a lot of the movies that we watch, because I sometimes watch movies too, not often, but I sometimes do, that's all programming as well. It's all programming as well. It helps to normalize certain things, just like, with the zombie apocalypse. Programs the mind. Obviously, we're probably not going to have zombies, pretty sure of that, but it programs the mind into this survival mentality where, you know what? Yeah, no, I'm willing to kill people. Oh yeah, I'll loot your supplies. And no, don't allow yourself to fall into that. Don't allow that. I don't watch the news, but I've noticed a few times that our governor was using the term. I've seen the term draconian quite a few times. Channeling as New Age sucks. Yes, basically, yes. What do you think about what's going on with Trump and the government concerning the coronavirus? That's what I think. I don't follow it intentionally. I mean, to the point where I logged out of social media. Yeah, I'm only logged into Facebook for sharing on my business page, and I use that to share on my personal page to spread the reach. I don't follow any of that. I'll leave that shit alone. I'm just gonna leave that. I'll leave it alone. I didn't hear what you said about the Pleiadians. My screen froze, so I suspect something doesn't want me to hear your opinion. Oh, well, Dory, I was like, thank goodness you've done research. That I was so tickled pink that you commented that, because this came from several conversations that Michael has had with me regarding Pleiadians. Oh shit, fucking bitch. I'm sorry that came out. 7743. Oh, that bitch. Okay. Let me see how to phrase this. Hum, let me. I can't phrase this. Okay, so there was this one person, we're just going to talk in very vague terms. There was this one person who's always like, I'm calling in the Pleiadians. I'm like, bitch, why can't you do shit on your own? She's always calling in the Pleiadians. And I probably shouldn't be laughing, but it just cracks me up thinking about her. And what ended up happening, this individual got infested very fucking badly by 2M. Pretty sure that was the gateway for the Pleiadians to get fucked. I'm pretty sure. Holy shit. Wow. Thank God she didn't work with Lyrans. Oh shit. Some fucked up shit. Whoo. Yeah. That's crazy. That just dawned on me right now. Whoo. What is she calling them for? Because she a weak ass motherfucker trying to keep up. Okay, let me stop being a catty ass. Let me stop being a catty asshole. A cat's asshole. That's what I'm being right now. Yeah, no, bad feelings there. But what? Mm. Dory Finn, is your name Doreen? Dory Finn, what's your actual first name? You accidentally logged in the other day with Doreen, right? Dum dum dum. That's right, Daddy. People think that I don't know. Yeah. People think that I don't know. Mm. So, yeah, Pleiadians are infected. Yikes. Um, I don't know, guys. I kind of am more of the mindset of uh stop calling other things in, do the work yourself. Ask your higher self for guidance, ask your higher self for support. He said my first name was Daddy. Daddy, can you stop? Can you stop? Woo, my God. Let's all talk about where we're from. Where are you guys from? So we have Leona from Vegas. I think I should put on my blue wig for this conversation. I feel like I should put on a blue wig for this. Scorpy's from New York. Should I? I think I should. Where's my blue wig at? It's over there somewhere. Okay, Matt is from Montana. Jen is from Arizona. Cheryl's from Florida. Where else? Where else? Sydney. We got Sydney in the house. We got Virginia, Australia, Alabama. She from Bama. Where in Bama are you from? Mobile. I have a friend from Alabama. We drove through Alabama before. We've driven through many of these states. Ohio, Fresno. Ooh, you went from Montreal to Oklahoma. What's up? Washington, Georgia, Georgia, Georgia. Okay, Indiana. So, how did you guys find me? NOLA. Sorry. I don't know why I just fucking yelled that. She's from NOLA. And you know what? Someone actually lectured me on a live stream. I brought her on with me. She said I was doing the accent wrong, that the whole NOLA accent that they perpetuate on movies is total bullshit. I brought her on live with me. I'm like, let me know, girl. Let me know. Oh, Adam found me going on a tarot channel binge. Yes. Pisces, fairy dust YouTube recommendation. Facebook. Oh, when I was traveling, where was I traveling to? I don't know if you guys know this, but I totally used to live in an RV for like 3 years, and we wouldn't stay in any place for more than like 48 hours. Whew. It was crazy. Tarot addict. Jackie is from Colorado. How do you like Colorado? Ooh, from the Christian whistleblower. Nice. I love the tarot binges. Nice. Very nice. I don't watch news either. It's so depressing. I'm trying to stay positive and spiritual. I'm trying not to pollute my mind. You can put on your blue hair and I'll put on my pink. You guys really want me to put on my blue wig? You let me know. Let me know. I found you by divine intervention at a low point. Showed up in my Facebook feed from someone I didn't even know. Interesting. Yes, the spontaneity of living in an RV was absolutely awesome. We didn't answer to anybody. We just like, oh, you got some shit to say? We out. Yeah, no, it was definitely very interesting, especially the fact that I have hella kids and hella animals. And we were all packed into an RV. Packed into an RV. Let's see. Where Felix is an asshole. He's not my lover anymore. I fucking hate him. So I've been having a rough couple days to begin with. In here and in here. Not in real life. Just in here and in here. I've just been all in my thoughts, and I've been really missing my mom. And she had this thing where she loves birds, and we would keep hummingbird bird feeders right by her windows, and she would just watch them from her bed because she's bedbound. And so I have a hummingbird feeder. Fucking Felix, dude. It's right outside the sliding glass door, which happens to be where our big ass dining table is. And he has this chair that he loves to sit in. It's that furthermost chair. And so my stupid ass me, I thought we were homies. I sat beside him and I was doing my work stuff on my laptop. And then I noticed there were two hummingbirds. They're lovers. There was a pair of hummingbirds and they were feeding at the same time. I was like, oh, where's my phone? And I was trying to take a video and I had my hand on my lap like this. Next thing you know, that fucking asshole of a cat, he just clamped onto me and then he bit me for saying, oh! And he dug his nail into my joint. And I was like, let go! Let go! And then the hummingbirds flew away. I was like, you're such a fucking asshole, bro. I wasn't even talking to you. I didn't even touch you. He just reached out and he fucked me up. That's what it is. I'm all fucked up now. So fuck Felix. Maybe I'll be his friend tomorrow. He's crazy. I don't know what the fuck that was about. I didn't do shit to him. And then my husband had to rub it in. He's like, he's always an asshole. I've been telling you that. And he's not. he's not actually an asshole. Just a little bit. Oh. I'm sorry, smarty girl. You guys really do want me to put on the blue. All right. Give me a second. I'll put on the blue hair. Let me just find it first. I put it aside for a reason. Oh, I found it. Ah! Sorry. I found it. Give me a second. I even fixed it. Let me just. Give me a second. Hold on. Ready as hell. Ooh, this hair. Girlfriend. You had some rough ass travel days. This is what it is. All right. This will have to do, guys. Give me a second. Okay. Give me. Hold on, guys. Hold on. All right. Okay. Okay, what do you guys want to talk about now? What is it? Yeah, no. Okay. There we go. Let's just stick that in here. kind of to hide that black hair. All right. Should I just do some freckles too? Blue hair, don't care. Hold on. I'm real hot now. I don't know where my purple one went. I have like a really, really fabulous purple one. I feel like I gotta wear some like mascara, some lashes. Hold on. I need a little extra. I know, y'all probably think I'm weird. I use lipstick. Okay, we need a little extra oomph. This kind of blue. Okay. It's like an attitude adjuster, right? It is. Okay. Hi. You want me to do glitter on the lids? I think so. That might be a little much. That shit's hard to get off. When it's time to clean it off, that's hard to get off. So I don't want to do glitter. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Until you want the glitter off. I don't know about that. All right, let's see where I should go shopping now, like online. Don't tell me to go shopping online because I will shop for some fucking crystal. This is what I will shop for. All right. So, anyways, what do you guys want to talk about now? You guys got me for another few minutes. Okay. And then I really do have to go. My skin. You want to talk about my skin? My skin is not doing very well. I'm very dehydrated. I look like I've had a rough day. It's okay though. It's okay. Lemurians. I go to Walmart every day. I do, practically every day. Yeah, no. I should I not say anything? I say fuck that shit. I say fuck that shit. No, I'm not going to play that game with the government. Let's see. My husband doesn't like me going out with wigs on. Probably because I become a little too extra with a wig on. It's like I have to play a role or something. With wigs on. Just that's why. No to wigs. No to wigs. A thin layer of Elmer's glue, then you can peel the glitter on my eyes, girlfriend. Oh no, I'm not gonna be doing that. Woo. I've been having paranormal activity at my house. Excuse me. Yeah. Portals are opening. The portal is still open. Let's see. Oh, you guys, thanks for reminding me, Scorpy. I'm actually going to be doing a fire ceremony tomorrow for that. Oh, my hair almost came off. Oh my God. My hair almost came off. I'm going to be going live tomorrow for the Jacqueline got me all fucked up. Girlfriend, what kind of comment is that? I did harvest some of that portal 555 portal energy. I'm going to be going live tomorrow for the full moon. It's a super flower moon. So that's a pretty significant one. Adam, the remembering dreams, sometimes you're not able to remember it because it's actually a download and it's a sensitive download. So, I did snatch my own wig. The 5/5 portal was yesterday, and tomorrow is a full moon. On top of being a full moon, it's a super moon. So it's definitely going to be some intense stuff. I already have I already have the expedite link active if you guys wanted to be a part of that. Um, and yeah, no, it's a lot of energies. A lot of energies. Ooh, you know what I found? Very, very close to the house is a massive, massive geothermal geyser. I'm just saying. Geothermal hot spring. It's huge. So I'm wondering if maybe tomorrow in the morning, we'll see how that works. I'm going to be infusing. I have tons of crystals that I finally need to release into the world. I have to let go. I have just so much stuff accumulated. Let's see. Wait, what? What about telepathy? Sometimes I can sense talking to someone I miss. Telepathy has been becoming more and more active in more and more people, especially in the whole twin thing. That's really it's amplifying from what I see with other people. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry that you're having a rough night, Nadine. Do you have a wig? Do you want me to send you one? Amazon has some cheap wigs that are cute. I'm just saying, just put a beanie on and it'll work out. You know what I'm saying? Girl, you'll look good in it. Let's see. Been searching nanofibers and can't talk about that, Laura. My dreams are vivid and I can affect them at times, but I only remember the stuff before I wake myself. Interesting. So like with me, I've always had I just thought everyone could do this. Where like if you don't like the dream, you could pause it, rewind it, fast forward it, skip to a different dream, pull people in. I just always thought people could do that. But yeah, that's interesting. Um, let's see. How can you tell if someone is remote viewing you? If they're using your eyes to remote view what you're seeing, you'll feel pressure. Sometimes it's this feeling, you know, like when you're in the room by yourself and then someone else comes in the room with you without seeing them or hearing them, you can feel it, right? You can feel it's just like that. You can feel it. There's times where you feel like you don't really feel like yourself. And it's almost like your body feels a little too small for you. I don't know if that makes sense, but those are some of the most um, common like things that people experience with remote viewing. The workshop that I'm going to be doing next month, the Black Magic Revocation plus energetic self-defense, it goes over how to negate the remote viewing. And you know, I'm still kind of debating how intense the self-defense should be, but with the way things have been going, well, that looked like a fucked up situation. With how intense the situation has been going for so many people, um, I'm kind of feeling like it needs to be a pretty fucking intense type of self-defense because I'm really tired of people getting fucked with. I'm really tired of people getting fucked with. Yep, someone's listening. um, let's see. Can you just block their view? Well, you can learn how to negate it in the workshop. Um, I've I always feel like somebody's watching me. It's my Black Magic Revocation plus energetic self-defense workshop. I learned to ignore those what feelings. I think that I've been having visitations from my ancestors. I believe that my dog sees them all of the time. I think that I actually saw an orb in my kitchen. Not all orbs are good though, okay? Just I'm sure you can find information online about that, but not all orbs are good. Not all orbs are lovely fairies. But I feel like our animals can definitely see when something is around us. Some animals, if especially if you're really close to your animal, they can sense when something has occupied you. um, huh. That sounds pretty fucked up, Dory. You wake up at night and your head feels like it's being electrified and you stare at this one corner of your room. That sounds pretty fucked up. My dog wakes up in the middle of the night for no reason. It's weird. Your dog probably senses something. A lot of portals have opened, to be honest. A lot of portals have opened. They're not huge portals like, the monthly portals, but there's a lot of portals that have opened up, like outside people's houses, in bedrooms, and things like that. There's a lot of shifting going on in this world. There really is. There's a lot of shifting, and the shifting is leading to, um, excuse me, coding that allows for portals to open up. And there's also a lot more people who are super curious in metaphysical things, um, that are playing, you know. Um, there are energy weapons. The government has released information on that. And typically, what's released is between like 30 to 50 years old. Um, what comes through the portals? It depends what kind of portal it is. Is it clockwise, counterclockwise? There's a lot of factors to take into consideration. Some portals suck in energy, while other portals send things into your space. Oh wow, Grandma. Sounds like something's trying to prevent you from communicating. Ew. Your roommate's cat has been meowing by your door. There's a lot of stuff going on, you guys. There's a lot of stuff going on. Should you be afraid? No, because these are things that have been happening well before you were ever born into this life. Um, there were all these dandelions on the hill by my place that I saw this morning, and then when I looked this afternoon, they were all picked. Ah, interesting. Maybe you have like a pagan or a witch that lives near you. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. It's sad that I even have to say that. So portals and vortices, if they're outdoors, they have a tendency to um, disrupt the growth of things. So trees that normally grow straight, they get all gnarled up and twisted. Let's see. What exactly is your question, K4 ounce? Well, that's one hell of a statement, especially when I try to type something about my husband's girlfriend. Please don't tell me. Let's see. Thank you. You like my hair? Oh my gosh. So, what? You guys feel okay? Yeah, guys, I really I don't want to get into other people's like personal relationship stuff. What could it be when you hear someone calling your name that's not really there, like not in my voice, but in another person's voice? Also, as I'm falling asleep, it startled me awake. Ooh. Uh, does it scare you? You never know. Determinant. Did I say that right? Um, many of the pagans and witches that I know, they actually live in the Bible Belt. That's the funny thing. Let's see. Okay, so everyone feels kind of okay. Just loud and sudden. I don't know. I don't know, Rachel. But I do know quite a few people who experience that. Some of them are negative experiences, but some of them are not. The negative experiences, the ones that are linked to like parasitic things, the people feel uncomfortable. So if you don't feel uncomfortable, then it might just be like your higher self or maybe some guides or something trying to get your attention. Maybe your hearing coding has turned active and you're now finally hearing. I'm not sure. I'm going to be honest. Um, oh, you heard your cat meow a couple times about a week after she died. It made you cry. You miss her so much. Oh. Um, I had this dog, Jessica. She's a pit bull, and we had to put her down. She was experiencing renal failure as well as having cancer. And she would do this thing in the morning where she would come and sniff my feet with her wet nose, and she would just kind of wait for me to wake up. And after she died, even sometimes till now, and gosh, that was like in 2014, 2013. Sometimes I half wake up and I feel her, and then I'll feel that on my feet, like wet nose on my feet, and I know it's her. Um, hard time getting good sleep at night these days, twisting, turning, waking up multiple times. Same here. I think it's a lot of the energy shifts that are occurring. They primarily occur at night. Well, they occur throughout the day, but we primarily get more sensitized to those feelings at night because we're not distracted by our day-to-day stuff. Sleep paralysis stress, is that what you mean? It's oh my god, there was a scary figure on top of you while you were sleeping. That's fucked. It's called sleep paralysis, but if you saw a scary figure on top of you while you were sleeping, there's a potentiality that it was either a succubus or an incubus. They were trying to get some boom chicka wow wow from you. Gotta still learn to get my digestion balanced. Today is one of those detox days. Oh, that's so hard to get your digestion like running proper. And so here's the thing. I hate to no, I don't hate to. I like bursting bubbles. Here's the thing. A lot of people have this misconception that one type of dietary preference is superior to another, and it's really not true. You have to go based off of your frequency. If you are a high frequency individual, your natural resting frequency is high. Being vegan is going to fuck you up. It just is. People think that being vegan is the most spiritual thing and it's going to help you with your spiritual. For those who have low frequency, and I don't say that in a derogatory way, but if you have a resting frequency that is low, veganism is beautiful for you. It will absolutely help you. It will help you so much. But if you're already high frequency and you go on a strictly vegan diet, it tends to be unsustainable long term. It tends to have very pronounced physiological effects, and it totally screws up your spiritual path because there's too much discrepancy between the frequency levels. So you have to find what's right for you. I'm not trying to bash veganism, but I'm also recognizing, because I was vegan for 6.5 years, um, it fucked me up real bad. I was a strict vegan for 6.5 years, and I did it first off because PETA videos fucking traumatized me. I couldn't eat the food after that as much as I wanted to. I couldn't. And then secondly, it I felt like I felt bullied into it, if we're really gonna be honest. If we're really gonna be honest, I was hanging around people who, to me, were very elevated in their spirituality and their consciousness, and I wanted to emulate them more and be on the same level. Meaning, I really wanted to be able to understand life and its occurrences in the way that I thought they understood their life and their occurrences. And and it's not that they were being fake or they're bad people or any of that. These people that really inspired me to try veganism for so long, beautiful, beautiful people. Some of the most peaceful, amazing, supportive, loving people I have ever met. But veganism is just not for me. And I do recognize a lot of people with very high frequency, they struggle with veganism too. So um, go with what feels right for you. No one should be telling you what to do. Um, well, Sandra, did you feel good being a vegetarian? If you feel good, keep doing it. If you feel like you want to push it a little bit and see how your body feels going full vegan, try it. Try it. You never know. Just because veganism doesn't work for me doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. It really depends on your resting frequency. If you have a lower frequency, which doesn't make you any less, but it just means it's lower. It's like saying a blood type. If you have a positive blood type or a negative blood, it doesn't matter if you have positive or negative. It doesn't mean you're less than if you're negative and more than if you're positive blood type. Not at all. So that's the same thing with frequency. You just have to understand where you're at and what your body needs. So if you really, really like veganism, you like veganism and you do have high frequency and you're having these imbalances going on, you just have to find more grounding foods. It's a lot easier um, if you find grounding foods, things that are grown in the ground, and there's a whole bunch of information out there. Um, Found a good middle ground in avoiding to eat mammals as much as possible. I mean, as much as possible, but when your body, because some people can go without meat. I mean, that's how they are. They can go without meat. If your body asks for it, then see where you're at. But um, yeah, there's times where I just can't. I don't want to have any meat at all. And then there's times where it's like I don't want any veggies. But for the most part, my diet has meat in it, but it's primarily veggies. Yeah, chicken. Chicken, when I have too much mammal, like you say, I don't feel too good. I can't have that too long. But I can do chicken. Yeah. So you probably have similar frequency. Oh, unified astrology. Hey, Alex. Oh my God. I wasn't even reading screen names. Yeah, no, I'm just like you. I do chicken most of the time. Um, well, I've been doing a lot of red meat lately, and that's probably why I've been feeling really sick lately. Um, Oh, you were doing a vegetarian diet for 8 years, but your doctor recommended a different diet because of your height and your bones. And you know what's crazy? Uh, what? He said chickens are lizards with feathers, so screw that. You're a nut. Right. Chickens are lizards with feathers, so screw them. Let the crackhead out. I can't eat anything with blood in it. It makes me throw up. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good. Definitely don't force yourself to eat things that you're clearly not compatible with. And that's this is what my main point is. Eat what you're compatible with. Don't try and force yourself to stick to a specific dietary plan just because you read that it's superior. Superior for whom, though? You know what I mean? Is it healthy for you? Is that person, um, do they have the same type of physiological makeup that you do? No, they probably don't. So you have to really You can try things out, see how it works for a few weeks. If it makes you feel better, fucking keep at it. Keep doing it. But if it doesn't, that might be something that might be something that you need to change. If you're gluten intolerant, dairy intolerant, that kind of stuff, gluten and dairy takes about, I think it was like 3 weeks. I think it was 3 weeks. It takes 3 weeks to be excreted from your body. And so you won't be feeling the actual effects of being gluten and dairy free for the first 3 weeks. But if you are intolerant, I find that you find relief within the first week. You'll notice, like, oh, I'm suddenly not as bloated. My stomach doesn't hurt as much. So you'll notice, though. You'll notice. And what I like to tell people when they listen to me and they withhold those items that I tell them, you're reactive to that. I'm sensing a reactivity to it. When they withhold it, and then they message me after 3 weeks, and they're like, "I'm feeling great," and I'm like, "Okay, go ahead and reintroduce it." And then they'll have one meal with it, and like, "Oh my God, Emmie, I feel like I'm dying." Well, then now you know. Now you know you can't ever have that again. Yeah, no, it's some messed up stuff. Um, I like chickens. It was hard for me to give it up. It's my favorite meat, but I'm doing okay without it, so I just eat the fake chicken. Ooh, Sandra. Okay, so that's actually much unhealthier than the real chicken. Um, and this is not towards Sandra. This is just I have been thinking this over the past couple of weeks. If if you're not going to eat the real meat, what's your reason for not eating it? And once you give yourself that answer, why are you trying to eat fake meat, right? If you've gone completely animal product free because you feel that it's like you're participating in a really cruel, disgusting thing, why are you still allowing yourself to participate in it by consuming the fake one? Does that make sense? What I'm trying to get at? The wig is fucking me up, you guys. The wig is really making me really feel real fucked up. I don't know what it is. It's itching me. I don't like it. I'm gonna be taking it off soon. Yes, fake sugar is worse for you than the real thing. So that's maybe something to consider, that if part of the reason why you've decided to no longer partake in the animal trade, um, for like moral reasons, there's some psychology to that you're still consuming um, fake flesh. I haven't allowed myself to fully explore it, but this is something that keeps popping up because I mean, I go grocery practically every day. My kids eat a lot. So we go grocery often, and I see it and I kind of wonder that to myself. Um, but it's a lot of a psychology to it. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't have anything against vegans. Again, I was a vegan for quite some time. And even then, that's actually when this thought started. Like, someone asked me, "Aren't you one of those vegans?" I'm like, "Yes, I am." And then they were like, "Well, why do you eat the fake meat if you're not eating the real meat because you think it's like fucked up? Or are you eating the fake shit?" And I was like, "Oh, because I still like meat." And they're like, "Well, then why you just eat the real thing?" Because I don't like dead things. It's true though. I'm not into dead things, but I have the kind of I like how I just did that. It's too fucking much. This is why I can't wear a wig every day. It's too fucking much. I'm just like, what, bitches? It's too fucking much. Like, what is this? Where's this coming from? Okay. I don't know. Anyways. It is a GMO of meat. It is GMO. If you look at that Impossible Burger thingy, from the information that I've read, it contains ridiculous amounts of glyphosate, and glyphosate works synergistically with the heavy metals in vaccinations. They work together. This is actually what injured my children. So, not talking on that topic. Mammals are emotional and are being treated poorly. Their suffocation carries over when you consume the meat. Yes, that's part of. So that's one of the reasons why I couldn't eat meat for 6 years. It took me a long time to get over that trauma, because there was a portion of me that just randomly one day it went active, this coding, and whatever I would eat, I would feel, see, smell, hear what they experienced in the last like hour or two before they were slaughtered. And it's not good. It's not good. I mean, honestly, chickens aren't treated any better, or fish, but I'm more tolerant of that. Brianna, that's how I am too. Where it's not that common for me to crave meat, but if I don't have meat daily, even just a little bit, I feel really sick. Like really, really sick. I can eat as much like plant-based stuff as I want, but it won't fill whatever. It's not a craving. It's like a dietary need. It's like, um, I don't know if you guys are sensitive to your body in this way. I'm very sensitive to my body. It's like if I'm deficient in a certain type of nutrient, I will crave that. I will just crave that, and I will just keep eating it mindlessly until I load up enough. And that's kind of how it becomes with meat sometimes, where I don't really want to eat the meat, but then it's like, God, I feel sick if I don't, you know? It's something in our makeup. Um, I see questions about halal. I don't know enough about halal and kosher to be able to like intelligently be like, oh, this one is, a better. I don't know about it. I don't. Um, I've read a lot about it over the years, but I always forget about everything. So yeah. Um, they still feel emotion, but yeah, not as strongly. I think because cows are, gosh, and my kids eat meat all the time. They're like you, Brianna, and me. Um, they thrive off of meat. So yeah, and I'm honest with them. They're like, "You want some cow? You want some chicken, or you want some cow?" They don't really eat red meat. Like, they don't. One of my sons, he's so sick of chicken because that's all they ever eat. Um, we switched him over to bison, and he's been really thriving with that. So, yes, Nadine, it's the protein. My body will reject what I'm eating if I haven't had the right amount of protein for that day. And people would say that protein is protein. You can get the same amount of protein in a plant-based diet. I don't know enough about the scientific background of it, but something in me is just like, no, that's not the protein that I want. Like it's like I can feel my body expressing that. That's not the kind of protein that I want, that I need. Um, Moon Chicky, I grew up vegetarian, always had this thought that veggies, plants are living things too. So why not? I've been craving meat for a few years. Finally decided to try it. Have you still been eating chicken? Probably not, right? I doubt that your family will, or the vegetarians who are around will be preparing chicken for you. Cows are extremely emotional, more so than any other mammal, maybe even humans. Is that why Indians avoid it? I know that Indians, some of the religious beliefs in India places cows on like a godly level. So Oh, do you notice a difference? Oh, well, I do notice a difference when I get the grass-fed cow that's ethically slaughtered. We get our kids grass-fed. Um, but I'm gonna be really honest. Just because it's categorized as grass-fed doesn't necessarily mean it's being treated in a humane manner. Like you look at if you're buying eggs, sometimes it'll say on the label, cage-free, pasture-raised. They could be all stacked up on top of each other. Just because there's no cages doesn't mean because there's no real regulatory. But why you enter the room looking sexy like that? He just opened the door like he's, you know. mhm. But yeah, there's no regulatory body when it comes to those type of labels. So kind of just one of the things that I found was really good is if you look at the company that produces it. There is a company in and I know this is not really going to fit most people's budgets, but there's a company in South Dakota. They have a huge ranch, huge, huge. And I think there's no fences. And what they do, this is their claim, is that they harvest the bison meat in the same manner that the natives used to do. Um, and so that's what they do. That's how they harvest, slaughter, and process the meat. But you're going to be buying large quantities, like freezers, like half a damn bison. Okay, but it's processed, so that means like they've cut it into whatever cuts people are used to. I don't know the difference in the cuts. Let's see. I'm pretty sure when farming first began, they treated their animals much better because that's your food. You're not going to be injecting all of this bullshit into them and, letting them live in squalor conditions because that's your food. And, another thing that we might want to consider, don't quote me on the dates because, again, memory is very faulty, but I think it was around the 1920s, maybe 1918. 1920, somewhere around there, they switched from feeding livestock hemp to feeding them subsidized corn. So once upon a time, our livestock was being fed very nutritious, nutrient dense feed. And they were then having all of that wonderful nutrition stored in their muscles, which is what we call meat. And that's what we were consuming. Now, we are a people that are chronically deficient in quite a few things. We have cannabinoid receptors within our body. Okay. Hemp has cannabinoids. So it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Farmers are forced to deplete their soils. And we just, we totally feel like we're eating nutritious things because it says fortified. That means it's been so processed, all the nutritional aspects have been depleted or destroyed, and therefore it cannot categorically be called food without those nutritional things. So they fortify it, they enrich it. That's what that means. Just hope you guys know that. Let's see. It's super expensive cow, but you can taste and smell the difference. What's super expensive cow? Oh, you can pick your cow. It's family. They have an open door policy. I went and looked. You can pick your cow. Holy shit, you can't take me there. You can't take, because I'll be like, don't kill him. That's my friend. I'm so that person. I can talk all big and bad, like, we're going to grow our own cow. We're going to be off grid and independent. You get a cow on here, motherfucker. You try and kill my cow, we will have problems. You are not touching my cow. Yeah, no, this will end up just being a cow sanctuary. There's a slaughter practice of stabbing an artery, and the animal bleeds out without even knowing. Well, yeah, that I could see. Is that how halal is? I think one of the things, one of the practices does that, where they sever an artery, minimal pain from what I hear, and the animal just bleeds out. But yeah, I'm just totally like, we moved to this farm and I was like, yeah, we're gonna have cows. We're gonna process our own meat. And then I thought about it. I was like, I can't kill a chicken. That's fucked up shit. I, that's fucked up shit. I will be standing in that yard with fucking, I don't know, weaponry. I'm like, nobody touches my chickens. These are my babies. I can't do it. I can't. I wanted to know how it worked and if they actually were humane and clean. Oh, the place that you went to. I mean, if someone has a farm where they can process the meat and you can, you're some places do that where they allow you to look around and see how the animals live before they butcher the animals. Um, to me, that's a little bit more more acceptable than the factory farms. Let's be honest, factory farms, no matter how you slice it, is fucking disgusting. And it's like many of us are too um financially unstable to be able to afford paying the money that's needed for meat that's properly raised and cared for. Um I hate fish. I don't know why. I was thinking of getting chickens for their eggs, but my kids are allergic to eggs. So I was like, what the fuck's that gonna do? Oh my gosh. Yeah, GMO is very bad. And think about it. Most people who eat a plant-based diet, they turn to soy. They turn to soy as a protein replacement for animal products. And the thing is, soy is the most heavily GMO. Yeah, even if yeah, you need to read on it. It's kind of crazy. You know, if we really are honest, if people didn't have the monetary constrictions that they have, I'm pretty sure we would pay the money to eat better. I'm pretty sure they structure this system to do that. That's what this system is meant to do. So it's definitely yeah, and then you'll have these other people who are like, well, you shouldn't buy that and you shouldn't buy this and you're part of the problem. Well, okay, think about it. I don't have that kind of money to be paying like I don't know what do they pay? Whatever they pay. You know, not everyone can afford it is what I'm trying to say. And so we can't be on this high horse of, oh my God, you eat that? Well, yeah, that's what I can afford. A lot of people can only afford certain. I can't have corn at all. Um, Queen Key, what about eating chicken broth and cream of chicken on top of your veggies and rice? What do you mean? Like, is that okay if that's what you like to eat? Oh, he said wrapped grown peas. I can't. That's I don't know. To me, that's like I couldn't. I'd rather starve, like literally. Many of us can't afford to eat the way we want to, and it's like we're so shamed. There are so many people that will shame you because, oh my God, you're eating that. Well, that's what I can afford, you know? And I mean, to me, I'm going to eat whatever I feel is right for me. And some people might be like, what the fuck? Okay, yeah. That's how much my groceries cost. And here's the thing. Here's the thing, okay? Yes, my groceries do cost pretty expensive compared to other people. My children can't eat the kind of things that other children can eat. So, they can't just if my son is going to have red meat, he can't just have regular factory farm cow because he's reactive to corn. So it has to be grass fed, a specific brand of grass fed. And if they're going to have chicken, it can't be processed in a certain way. So it has to be a specific brand, which tends to be a little bit more. And people are like, oh, people who know me in real life when I still lived in California, they're like, oh, you're just like a food snob. Okay, first off, I don't buy Louis, Gucci, or any of that other shit. I don't go buy fucking table service. I don't go to the clubs. I don't go to the bars. I don't go to concerts. I don't buy expensive cars. I don't buy expensive shoes. All of that fucking money that's being used to flaunt shit, I'm using it to feed my children good shit. So that's how I spend my money. But yeah, you'll have people who really they have all these things that they want to say. Yeah, no, you work within your budget. There's no point in you not being able to pay your mortgage just so you can have the brand that everyone says is the right brand. Do what's right for you. Okay. Buy what's right for you, eat what's right for you, live a life where you feel satisfied with how you're living. That's really what you have to do. Forget everyone else. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm kind of in a complaining mood. So my little one loves it's freeze dried mango. It's just mango. There's no other ingredients in it, and you get like a handful of freeze dried mango in each package. And each package is like I don't know. I think it's like $4. I think it's like $4 per package, and that's not really a big deal, except for the fact that this tiny ass kid of mine can eat like 10 of those in one sitting, and I'm like, bruh, why would you eat 10 in one sitting? And then he's like, I'm sorry, mommy. Fucking you just ate 10. But you can't tell him that. You can't make him feel bad. So I'm just like, well, that's a lot of sugar. They can't even have peaches. They can't have peaches. His lips turn purple. Yeah, slow your roll. Let me hide some of that. Put some of those bags where he can't reach it. He's still small. But yeah, no. It's really you have to do what is right for you, I mean, granted, we can't get him that every fucking day. I'm like, bruh. But that's literally his only snack. His other snack would be watermelon, fresh watermelon. And if that's not in season, good luck. Good luck. He asked for this watermelon juice. It's just pressed watermelon, but for like one regular size bottle, personal bottle, that shit is like $5. You're the $5 kid. So yeah, no, whatever works for our budget, that's what we do. That's what we do. My little bro will eat any veggies. Like he will eat that before eating anything else. Oh, I love that. I love that. My kids, they can't eat too much fruit and veggies because they're reactive to it. Even the this is what happened. Okay. This is what happened when we lived in California. We were exposed to glyphosate. That's one of the main components of pesticide, and so that opens up their gut. It causes a lot of inflammation. It damages the junction points that allow food in, and so what ends up happening, the foods that you're most exposed to during that period, you will begin to develop antibodies for them, an intolerance, because it's entering the bloodstream partially digested. And so the body will begin, after a while, overreacting and creating antibodies. This is a foreign invader. We need to address it. And that's what happens. So when we were living in California, I was full on granola mommy. Everything had to be made from scratch. Everything had to be organic. Everything was bought from the farmer's market. And I was constantly stuffing them full of all kind of veggies and fruits, and I wanted them to be healthy. And little did I know, because of the leaky gut, the foods that I would feed them the most often as babies, that's what they became highly reactive to. So now they can't really have fruits and veggies. I didn't feed them meats too much, so they're fine with meats. Kind of fucking sucks, but that's how it went. And so that's what we have to. Oh, they're going to bed. They're upstairs. I gotta go, guys. The babies, I heard them right outside the door. I gotta go. I love you guys. Bye.